Bună ziua, doamnelor și domnilor! Bine v-am găsit la primul episod din podcastul ICHB, chiar aici din sala noastră studio. Astăzi sunt alături de Caleb, care este pentru prima oară în România. Say hi, Caleb!
Hi!
Marea noastră întrebare, ce caută în România pentru prima oară în Europa chiar? Is this your first time in Europe?
Yes. Oh no, not my first time in Europe, but my first time in Romania.
So how is it, your first time in Romania?
I love it in Romania. It's really cool. We've explored Bucharest and Old Town, and we went to Mogoșoai outside of Bucharest. So it's very nice. But I really like it so far.
Bună, numele meu este Sofia și fac parte din clubul de cinematografie. Astăzi, pentru primul episod de podcast al școlii, avem o invitată. Hello!
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Grace.
What do you study?
I'm a biomedical engineering student at Worcester Polytechnic Institute, or WPI. It's based in Worcester, Massachusetts, which is about 45 minutes west of Boston. So not too bad. And I'm here currently completing my ICHB, or Interactive Qualifying Project. It's a project that all of our students complete in their junior year. Roughly 95% of us go abroad. So I ranked my top 6 locations and I got placed in Romania, and now I'm here.
Have you ever been in Romania before?
No, I've never even been to Europe before or really left the Northeast until like the past 2 months.
Did anything in Romania catch your eye or?
Yeah, I had to do a lot of research before I left. Obviously, I didn't really know much, but I just thought Romania looked very beautiful. And I really liked how, like, the further you traveled, you were getting such different kind of cultures, communities, different experiences. I also really love hiking. My mom grew up in New Hampshire, so I hiked there a lot. So I liked that aspect as well.
So what are you guys here for? What's your project? Tell us about it.
I'm part of a group of researchers from the Worcester Polytechnic Institute. That's an institute right in America, right in Massachusetts, a little bit south of Boston. And we're here with a bunch of other students, but our specific project is a group of 5 students, and we're working with a non-governmental organization called Simplu Verde. And what they've tasked us with doing is creating educational material for Green Week. Because we've heard that Green Week it's only been going on for a few years, and there's some lack of structure as far as educational resources. It's more activity-based, and we want to get more of the scientific-based.
It's a work in progress, and it's lovely to see that we have people who want to help us with it because, well, we want to increase awareness about the Green Deal or anything that's related to the environment because, we live in the environment. So it's nice to see that we have people who want to get involved and to help us.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about any first insights that you've gathered?
Yeah. We've really noticed that a lot of the students that we've talked to really like going outside for Green Week. They loved the planting trees activities. They liked the camping overnight activities. And we might try to incorporate some of that in our final plans because our initial plan was just to do indoor lessons or games, but getting outside seems to be really important for Green Week.
I feel like it's a lot more dynamic when we get people to actually be involved because they want to feel like they're part of the change, So as we were talking, because I met Caleb a couple days ago in the library and I told him about basically what we're doing here. Cam ce facem aici, o dau pe engleză puțin. I-am explicat cam ce facem aici și mi-a povestit că în mare parte a văzut că din partea elevilor noștri vine o implicare foarte bună atunci când ei se simt parte din activitate și simt că fac o schimbare. Și le-am împărtășit câteva din activitățile pe care le-am făcut noi, cum au fost Eco Fashion Week, la care vă invităm să veniți și anul acesta. Welcome to come, by the way, too. It's gonna be fun.
We're really excited to see it.
Because, I showed the pictures with what the kids were up to, and it's insane because they're like 5th or 6th graders who have these ideas and they bring them to the table, and it's full of creativity.
Right.
And it's good for the environment too.
Yeah, they're using those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what other plans do you have for the following weeks?
We're planning to talk to another school as well within Romania, a public schools, to kind of get, we've talked to you guys, the private school, and get that perspective, and we're trying to get a different perspective as well. We're also talking to, we previously talked to a non-governmental association representative who helped to start Green Week. So we got kind of the context around what it was initially intended to be and what they wanted it to be, but what fell through with the passing of the actual legislation. And that was really, really interesting. And once we finish all of our interviews, we're going to try to create a prototype for our lessons to try and test it with the school as well.
We recently started to introduce more activities, and I was curious what your thoughts were on our extracurricular activities.
I think it's amazing what you guys are doing, just kind of introducing student interests, listening to what you guys would like to do and kind of implementing that. I went to a fairly large public high school with kind of not that great of funding. It's a public high school. So as far as activities went, it was kind of more stereotypical. You could be a theater kid, you could play sports. So I ended up just always falling into the sports category. I played football or soccer my entire life, as well as lacrosse. So that kind of took up a lot of my free time. I eventually did end up joining our kind of debate team towards the end of my career, but that wasn't something that was always there. So kind of seeing all the opportunities you guys have, it's just really amazing.
What do you think hurt at least compared to the ones in US, and what do you think we could improve?
Well, I would say as far as activities go, here especially, I just think you guys have a really special kind of culture between both your teachers and students. You guys are very open, and just kind of the affection I see between students and teachers and the bonds there are amazing. And I think from that you've gained a lot of communication that has allowed you to kind of explore different avenues, especially that robotics program I went and visited. It was absolutely insane the things you guys were achieving and kind of approaching. So just, I really think that like all of the motivations and the passion that I see so clearly throughout this school has made it something that I think will only continue to grow. I don't really have anything that I think needs improvement. I think you guys, even programs that are just starting out, like you can see that you're on the trajectory to like accomplish great things.
Following your discussion with the person who initiated this project, what would you say is the core issue that has fundamentally not made Green Week work in our country?
Yeah. One of the biggest issues with climate change and climate issues in general is a lack of persistent interest. People find it hard to acknowledge the long-term effects of their actions, so they get really interested in planting a tree, but it's harder to implement longer lifestyle changes as far as being sustainable.
Yeah, like it's more of a pop culture and part of the change, but it's never about being the constant change, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you guys are trying to implement in our system.
Instilling it in the education in younger students really will hopefully get them to act more long term.
What other ideas did you guys have as activities for Green Week?
Yeah, so one of our sponsors really wanted us to use satellite data as far as looking at pictures of changing landscapes. And you see all these years ago, there's all these great forests, but then you look at 2 years ago and they're all gone. And that really shows like the impact kind of in a visceral way that you see the
Because it's like you see 1, 2 trees, it's nothing, but then you see what the actual impact does.
Right, exactly.
Supposedly like you see the wildfires or stuff like that.
100%.
And then it actually hits you that, hey, this is something that's actually affecting my life.
Yeah.
And people do not seem to get that idea very easily.
Yeah, it's hard to think about when you're. It's especially hard if you're thinking about your day-to-day life and you're just going about trying to survive in the world, and then you don't really think about how that affects the world. You know.
I feel like it's the character of people sometimes to just not care about their future, which is sad because we need people who want to not only make an impact on others but on themselves, because it's. Change starts with you, but it's also about your lifestyle, not about others. Mm-hmm. And I see people who like drive their car recklessly, accelerating for no reason, or keeping their engine on for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
And it's these little things that make the changes that we want to see in the life, but we cannot see them because people do not want to make them.
Right. And it builds up both in the negative way and in the positive way. If we start doing small little things that can help in the long term, for sure.
And people think to seem like they got the idea, but they still sometimes let the water run for too long or litter stuff. And it's sad because they don't get the idea of why they shouldn't do it,
Yeah.
So what other ideas did you guys have as for implementing and having people understand, apart from the satellite? So what would you say are the activities that caught your eye that we have done perhaps, and it helped you gain a new insight?
Yeah. We really liked the basketball hoops around the recycling. I feel like that's a really good way to get kids interested in recycling as far as making it a game. That's something that we've been looking into, the gamification of education. We are hopefully going to create a video game to make it fun for students to learn these topics. But other things that you guys have done that was really interesting was we talked to some students that really understood the why behind planting trees and why it's not just a fun activity, but it's also helping the environment because trees help capture carbon, and it's just instilling more of those whys in the students that we want to like make even bigger, because it's there a little bit, but we want to build it back up.
I feel like, because I was thinking you said about learning through games, and I thought about the times my math teacher did it, and it actually does help.
Yeah.
Because, it gives you the feeling of, okay, you are learning, but it's something that you do enjoy doing.
Right.
So before you make it understandable for their impact, you also make it fun for them.
Yeah, it makes them want to do it. It causes that, and especially with competition, if they're trying to beat their friends, they're gonna want to really be good at the game, and to be good at the game, we want them to be learning.
That's what we were trying with the Eco Fashion Show, because we wanted to see them eager to because we had people go to the other teams and sneak on them.
Oh no!
Yeah, like sneak on their ideas. Like, okay, they're using that, we should also use that, and it's fun because you get to see people that, without even realizing, they're contributing to something good, and they're having fun doing it.
100%. Yeah, and I feel like especially with eco fashion, if they're working with each other or sneaking and spying on the other teams, they're learning other ways they can be recycling and other materials that they might not have thought of, and designs are really cool. That creativity is really important as well.
Have you guys gotten the chance to discuss the seaside?
We talked a little bit about the seaside. We heard some groups went there for Green Week to pick up trash, but beyond that we haven't really talked about it too much.
Yeah, it's something. My teacher had an initiative, my English teacher had one with her students like 2 years ago, I think, when they went to a trip to Vama Veche, party place. You guys should go, it's fun.
Yeah, maybe.
And they gathered around to collect litter from the sand, which was pretty interesting. But it needs more impact. And it's mainly because we also have a school in Constanța. So I feel like if we use the forces of these two schools, we could definitely work something up to make an even bigger impact,
Right. Yeah, something that I was thinking about that is the cleaning up the beach is great, and it's going to make the place much more beautiful, much more nice to be, but also instilling the education in why you shouldn't litter will cause it to
keep itself
right,
this way.
To perpetuate it, so we don't have to clean it anymore, right? Because if everyone takes their own trash home and recycles or disposes of the trash in the correct way, then it won't take a bunch of kids who should be in school. It shouldn't be the responsibility of the younger people.
Yeah, but kids take from their adults,
Yeah.
from their brothers, from their. So I have to ask Caleb, why Romania?
Why Romania? So the way our school, it's not 100% a choice. We get assigned to a certain extent, but we had to rank our top choices. We ranked top 6 choices, and Romania was one of my top choices. And I was so glad that I got to do it. And you rank the location and the time of year. So this was definitely my top for this time of year. I really wanted to be here during the spring because all of the flowers are so beautiful. We visited the botanical gardens.
Oh, you went there?
Yeah, it was beautiful. And a lot of the architecture, it's an interesting mix that really caught my interest of European and more Asian or Eastern European art, and we saw
because it's the former history combined with the new influence, and it's nice,
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to live here. It's like a rift between two worlds.
Right. Especially seeing some of the churches just in the middle of Bucharest, it's kind of like you step into a different world, back in time almost into those churches. It's really cool.
So yeah, Caleb, it was lovely to have you here. Any other thoughts?
I think we were really appreciative that your school has been able to have us here and talk with you guys, and it's been a really exciting experience, and thank you for having us here.
So you heard it from the man here, the singer, Caleb. I will not make him sing even though my teacher is looking at me from behind the camera. So yeah, guys, I will now let his colleagues speak, and we're going to move on. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you very much.